start right off with a video. So behind every digital car, there's a digital company. And this especially holds true for the new BMW iX3 that we just revealed last week at the IAA in Munich. And for the Neue Klasse project, data and AI were really key enablers. But of course, not only for the Neue Klasse project, but data and AI are really impacting our whole company, every single process, and every part of our value chain. My name is Goergmaier, and I'd like to guide you through our journey with data and AI over the next 20 minutes, give an insight where do we stand today, what strategy we are pursuing, and where we're heading. And when we look at our current value chain, we really have data and AI embedded throughout the whole value chain. Yeah? Really from automated driving to customer experience, we just saw with the intelligent personal assistant in the car, but then of course also in all the processes that support the company. So production logistics, our customer and sales processes. Today, I would like to give you a few in the first part where we look at how data really knows no borders. So it's not only within the company, but also when we look at our suppliers and partners. I will give a short glimpse here in regards to Catena X, where we share data. And then, of course, also how does data create value for our customers and how they also can leverage third-party integrations in our ecosystem. And then we will have a few on, of course, how AI impacts this whole ecosystem and how it also further develops our road at BMW. So looking at the BMW Group, of course, we have transactional systems and services running like every other company supporting our whole business. Then on top of that, we see the data layer, and we have a central data and AI portal that creates a consolidated view for all our employees to the data sets they can reuse. And here we also implemented a one ontology layer across the company, especially important now when we look at unstructured data assets as well, and not only the structured ones. On top, and that's really what we believe is changing now with AI agents, it's not only agents, but it's a combination of agents and automation. And that's moving a lot of the logic from this transactional service layer, so where you have your classical applications, up now into the AI layer. So you need both. You need access to the transactional systems via APIs or streams. You need the data, and then on top, the agents. Yeah, and then of course, what this does, it impacts our processes, creates business value, but in order to do that, you need to adopt the processes in a way that they can work with AI. So now when we look from where the data comes upstream into the company and then to the customer, I already mentioned Catena X. Catena X is so important for us because when we look at the data our suppliers share with us, really from raw material to already assembled parts that we built into the cars, of course, not everyone wants to share all the data with us. So we needed a very decentral approach with minimal central orchestration, with no vendor lock-in, so we have flexibility, and also with low costs. Yeah. And this approach is really funneled by Catena X. It's a data sharing initiative for automotive, and it allows identity control, interoperability with a lot of systems, open source or commercial systems. For example, you can also have it integrated in SAP, and self-sovereignty. And it went live last year around this time of the year in 2024. And now we have more than 1,000 active network partners. And at the BMW Group, we're already using it for traceability use cases, quality use cases, carbon footprint use cases. And you can see it here. We have quite a lot of active data already flowing through the system. So for example, the battery code data that's really production relevant for us is today already shared via Catena X. And you can see it, biggest data transfer of the fleet diagnostic data is 300 gigabytes. We are transferring on a weekly basis via Catena X. So that is the data that is flowing in from our suppliers and partners. And then on the other side, of course, we have the customers. Yeah? They have, via BMW car data, they have access to the data from their car. So telematic data, they can see in their app. They can also see when they log in online. And the other part, of course, they can also decide with consent to share it with third party. For example, if you park your car in a parking garage and you want to do the automated payment, you might want to share your location service. And you can also do that via BMW car data. Yeah? And always individually decide as a customer which data do I want to share. And at any time, you can also revoke the access of the data. So we had upstream data, the downstream data, and then, of course, a few inside of BMW. And now AI comes into play, and it changes a lot. Yeah? It redefines how we engage, compete, innovate, and grow. Customers have different expectations based on AI. Everyone knows ChatGPT and similar experiences. Competition is very fierce. Yeah? There's a lot of investments from our competitors and from us into AI applications and use cases. Then innovation, it's a rapid development we're seeing at the moment. Almost every week there's new opportunities and challenges coming up with AI. And of course, it's really also impacting the business models. We see new pricing models, for example, we can use and leverage. So, and in this area, we clearly see a scale or fail reality we face. And we see three strategic pillars for the BMW Group. First one is, when I look at our application landscape, of course, we want to implement the off-the-shelf AI solutions that come with SaaS offerings or certain vendors, like the Microsoft Copilot, like SAP Joule. We want to integrate that, and we're already doing that. On the other side, it's the second pillar. We have highly specialized AI applications that are tailored to our specific processes at the BMW Group. We have around about 600 of those already in place today. And then the third pillar, it's really self-service. That's the approach where every employee can create individual small applications, agents, whatever you need for your day-to-day work. And all of these three pillars need to be mastered. And the must-win battles here is an integration of technology stacks. If I give you an example, if I look at our sales process, you start on a self-developed BMW configurator on the website. We pull customer data from Salesforce. When it comes to the invoice, you have SAP involved. And believe me, there are many, many more systems involved in this process alone. So if you want to automate that with an AI agent, you need to be able to integrate across different technology stacks and different agents. And that's a huge challenge, because we're still missing integration patterns with a lot of the vendors. And we really see that as key, because every company has their specific processes, and we do as well. Second one is, of course, integrate critical business data. And not only structured data, I think where we made great progress over the last years, but now it's really about unstructured data and how you manage that, create real knowledge assets. Third one, global compliance and security. I think we had a great presentation earlier where the geopolitical challenges were shown. You cannot use Anthropic or OpenAI models in China, for example. We're a global operating company, so for us, it's crucial to be compliant on a global scale and also have platform patterns that we can reuse in every region of the world, even if we exchange the models, for example. Last one, and that's really something I always like to emphasize, technology is only half of the equation. The other part is really your organization and the skills you have in your organization. So do all the specialists in your company know how they can leverage the power of AI in their specific processes? That is key, and we are investing a lot to really upskill our workforce and grow it in that regard. To leverage this ecosystem, and Felix from AWS already mentioned it, I will give you a little insight on how we shaped our platform. So we call it Group AI Assistant internally. And of course, you have a front end where you can access it, like you would probably know it from ChatGPT, but you also have an integration in other systems. So if you are, for example, in a purchasing system, or if you're in the data portal, you also have the chat assistant always by your side. If you're in the browser on your enterprise client, you have a little sidebar where you can access the Group AI Assistant at any time. Yeah, and what it does, we have a central orchestration layer, so you can access different agents and have an intent recognition when you prompt something. Of course, we manage identity access also across the system, so we're integrated into the platform. We have an agent tool register where we're using protocols like MCP, A2A, and of course, and that's a really crucial part, the knowledge management part, where we create knowledge assets, central knowledge assets in the different parts of the company where we properly have the metadata curated and all of that to be reused in the platform. Of course, then security moderation layer, we use open source, closed source here, and a lot of integration technologies needed underneath to be able to provide the platform on a global scale. If I just highlight one little thing here, the LLM API, that's, for example, where we then offer the platform in a different way in China than we do in the US or in Europe. We use different models underneath, different security controls to comply with the local regulatory. So, and to give you an idea what you can do with the platform, you can, of course, use it as a chat, but you can also integrate it into specific applications. And here's some examples. So we had the direct sales launch for Mini in Europe, and therefore the dealers, you really have an AI-powered support across the whole process for every part of this direct sales models. We call it Retail Companion. It's powered by the platform, but it's integrated into the application. I have a controlling example here for large, long-range planning and for the data. So even when you're a controller and you do not have deep database knowledge or the knowledge how you do SQL queries, you can simply use the platform on our data portal and query against data assets. We do analysis of customer feedback, so qualitative customer feedback, and then create tickets and defects out of that, even for serious production models. And also a really nice use case here. We had very fast build-up market analysis tool based on a platform where we identified most relevant macroeconomic factors to support our sales forecasting. It's just 4 examples, and to give you an idea, some facts and figures. Today we were really surprised by the success and how fast it grew. We launched this platform beginning of the year in February. And by now, we have 15,000 small AI apps created by our employees. And we have more than 90,000 users in the BMW Group who use the tool, 40,000 on a monthly basis. And this is all, of course, massively powered also by our Cloud Data Hub. It's our central data platform where we have around about 11,000 data assets. We have also 12,000 monthly users on the platform, and more than 2,300 use cases we support. And just to add here, when we look at use cases, we do not differentiate between data and AI use cases, but we really have a look at both of it. So if I have a use case I define basically which data assets do I need for the use case. Then we have a clear definition: who's the data owner, data steward, data engineer in there, it's documented in the system, upstream, which source systems are being used. And then we also document what are AI models that we use. So either large language models via the large language model API, or self-developed models we develop in-house, for example, capsize detection and something like that. And it's all documented in one place in our data and AI portal. And so I have a seamless experience as a user and a proper compliance documentation as well. Yeah, so our group AI and data platform is really essential for us, yeah, to have a seamless integration in our specific technology stack. And we believe it's crucial to invest also with in-house resources to build at least parts of this platform ourselves. Yeah. The platform is built ourselves. Of course, we're using large language models from providers, but this very specific integration in your technology stack, that is something we believe at the BMW Group, which is critical and is also differentiating to leverage the full potential of AI. Thank you very much.